David Goggins wanted to become a Marine, but he was 300 pounds. Asta wanted to become Wizard King, but he was told he was weak every single day. Thorfinn wanted to have no enemies, but he saw his dad die right in front of him. Aaron wanted freedom, but he couldn't even protect his own mother. So what do you notice about the characters that I just mentioned? Well, almost every single character that I mentioned was driven away from their goals. They were in the exact opposite scenario of what they wanted to become, and this is where they were tested. See, you must endure the pain in order to get what you want to gain. You must be driven so far away from your goals that it almost seems impossible. But this is where you are tested. So my boy, are you gonna give up on that dream, or will you become strong enough to actually keep it? See, most of us become the things that we most hated, but this is where we realize we have to change. See, most of my friends call me not normal. In fact, my friends tell their friends about the things that I do, and they call me crazy, but I was not born into this world to be normal. When I first started my nofap journey, people called me crazy. They're like, why don't you release like the rest of us? But as I continued my nofap journey, they still kept calling me crazy and weird. But as I got hundreds of days into my nofap journey, they started to actually respect me because I broke free from this lustful curse. The more and more I started to advance in my nofap journey, the more people respected me because their minds could not comprehend the amount of discipline you need in order to resist your flesh. I wanted to get closer to God. I wanted to obtain the physique of my dreams, but at this point in my life, I was the exact opposite of my goals. But this is where I realized I had to change. See, I was committing lust and dealing with sin every single day. I didn't care about myself physically, spiritually, mentally, but I was in the season of the storm. It's funny because it was literally just raining outside, but you guys need to know how to get through your season of the storm because I was in that storm for so long. But we all know after a rainstorm, there is sunshine. Now, how did this storm actually come into our lives in the first place? Well, we got to realize that as a society, we are conditioned to follow a certain rule. For example, what you eat, when you eat, breakfast, lunch, dinner, what religion you do, what you do in the religion. You have to pray 5 times a day. You have to stay away from certain foods. Or in your work, in school, even your own home, we're conditioned to follow certain rules. Like even your habits have been normalized by society. Do you think releasing your meat juice to random pixels on a screen every single day is healthy for you? Oh, but motives, it helps with prostate cancer and all these testicular cancers down there in my nutsack. Shut the fuck up. See, when you follow these rules that society has slowly implemented into you throughout your life, it's going to be harder and harder to achieve your goals because your goals aren't achievable by everyone, right? That's why it's so important to you. But if you're going to follow the same exact habits and rules as everyone else, how are you going to actually achieve your goals? Because if everyone follows the same rule and you follow those rules as well, how do you expect to have different results? How do you actually expect to be better than everyone else if everyone else is the same? See, all of the things that I mentioned in some way affected your life and your purpose. But what if I told you there was a way to reinvent yourself, to actually become the best version of yourself, to stop procrastinating and indulging these worldly pleasures and actually enjoy doing the hard work? Now, to do this, we need to improve 3 simple things, and that is your mental health, your physical health, and your spiritual health. First, we have to improve our mindset. How you do one thing is how you do everything. I noticed when I do one bad habit, it transfers over to the next one. So if you start your morning by checking every notification, every YouTube upload, scrolling through every single social media app you have on your phone, that is already a bad habit that will most likely affect your entire day. Or say you're super inconsistent with your routine and you're just struggling to come up with ideas. Plan the night beforehand on how a perfect day would look like so you can achieve these goals and get closer towards them. See, when I knew what I had to do the night beforehand, not only did I sleep better because I got all my ideas down, but now I know what I actually need to do. So as soon as I wake up, I can get to it. So what we can improve on physically is your body. So your body is a direct reflection of your habits. There is no hiding or denying it. I mean, every time you look into a mirror, it isn't showing you a version of you that you want to see, rather a direct version of you. It's not lying to you. There's no Photoshop. It is showing exactly who you are. And a lot of people try to comfort others by saying body positivity, or if their friend is too fat or skinny, they'll try to comfort them by saying it's okay to be like that. when in reality, they just want to be better than them. But see, this is where you realize you can actually improve by identifying your flaws and actually fixing them. Now, this is going to require you to break the rules, train harder than the average person. This is where I say, surpass your limits. Now, society has placed 2,000 calories to be the average number of calories that a person can consume. And while this is sufficient for most people, it doesn't apply to everyone. But say you were to intake those 2,000 calories, most people do not consume the right calories, because there's a difference between 500 calories of cookies versus 500 calories of a salad. Have you ever heard of the saying, you cannot outtrain your diet? This is true, because it is important to realize what your body is actually taking, because food actually affects your mood. Say you have 1,000 calories left to eat by the end of the day, and you tell yourself it doesn't matter how you get those calories as long as you get those calories in. This is completely the wrong mindset, because if you consume 1,000 calories of cookies versus consuming 1,000 calories of chicken and rice with a salad, your body will be affected differently, because this is the same amount of calories, but because the foods are different, there's different nutrients that is going to help your body. Because those cookies only supply sugar, while the chicken and rice and salad provides all types of nutrients and proteins. Now, the last thing is to level up spiritually. Now, you were told that we came from monkeys, that a big bang happened and boom, we're all here. But bro, if this isn't the most fairy tale thing I've ever heard of, bro. See, this is all from theories and scientists, but what they fail to do is actually give us proof. Scientists are known to show the proof of everything, but they still cannot explain how the pyramids were made. But that's another video. But once you've reached a certain point in your life, you realize that everything has a meaning. We don't do things without a reason. We don't watch the hub. We don't scroll on TikTok because it's healthy and fun, but because we are addicted. And the reason why you're addicted to these things is because there is a certain agenda behind it, and that agenda is sin. So once you start to sin, that is how the devil is gonna win. See, I used to think when people would say to unlock your third eye, that there was a literal eye in my forehead that can open up. Now, my boy, it's not that. When you open your third eye, this is your mind realizing that there is a certain agenda behind everything. See, to level up spiritually, you don't have to pray 5 times a day. You don't actually have to dress up a certain way. What you need to do is strengthen your relationship with God. Imagine God as your friend. If you only gave your best friend in the world 1 hour of the week, if you only came up to your friend when you needed him most, would they still be your friend? Of course not. This is why you gotta spend time with God. Don't just give 1 hour of the week to him. Give multiple hours a day. Once you give up these worldly desires and fully submit yourself to God, this is where he's going to start to bless you. Because as I said, there is a certain agenda behind everything. The devil is going to try to distract you with all these games and social medias and sin and lust and addiction to get you away from the truth. But that is why we say on this channel, we rebuke the kingdom of darkness. See, your goal is not meaningful and big and ambitious enough if you aren't spending restless nights trying to come up with ideas, if you aren't stressing about the outcome. Because if you truly wanted it, you would give everything else up for it. I mean, is it fair that as you struggle to get closer to achieve your goals, your friends are goofing off? No, of course not. But as you show up, when you show up on the days that you especially don't feel like doing it, this is where you're going to make the most progress. They may not see all the struggles that you're going through, but that is okay. They're not supposed to, because this is your vision and only you can achieve it.